I'll be back.
All right.
No.
We're back for episode 43 of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
I'm Gage.
I'm Gage.
You're supposed to say I'm Rob.
We're saying opposite.
Oh, he gave it a good shot.
Yeah, Columbus took a chance.
He's excited for his
You
birthday.
got to stay up close, bud. Yeah, he's going to be, I don't know, 3-4 hours. He's going to be 9 years old. His last single-digit year.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's gone by fast.
It's gone by fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really has. We remember when you were born. How many years ago?
Oh,
8 years and 364
days.
4 days and 18 hours.
Come on, guys. He isn't. He's not
20,
father.
20
He's
hours,
not,
but who's
yeah,
counting?
Yeah, he's not father time here, boys.
What were we doing last year at this time with cousin Fred? What did we do around that last time? On Christmas Eve.
We opened presents and.
Oh, we did over at Uncle Fred's house.
Yeah,
We did.
Mhm.
And what else did we do?
And in the Indiana Jones movie was on.
It was?
I think it was that. Or was that the commercial? I don't know.
Oh. But did we go? Where did we go that night?
Other than his house. Oh, I think it was your old job, the lobster place.
Oh, Christmas Day we went to
River crab.
River crab.
Yeah. Have I ever told you guys that story?
Yeah, it's a funny one. Dad,
You tell us, Gage.
Okay. So he was working at River Crab one time, right? You were gonna put the lobsters in the. You were gonna go in the freezing area, right?
Cooler, yeah.
Cooler. And you were gonna open it to get the lobsters, but then you figured out that they were alive, and so then you got scared that they were alive. So
Didn't they have rubber bands on the claws, or
Yeah,
did they
but-
not?
they did, but he still got scared.
I couldn't figure out why they had rubber bands on the claws.
What were you, like 18?
No, I was like 16. I was driving.
Oh wow, you couldn't figure out why they had rubber bands on the claws.
I opened up the box. They weren't moving, because
you know what? Take the rubber bands off once, and you'll figure out why they have rubber
Yeah. Yep.
What would happen if the rubber band came
They
off?
would come and pinch you.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they're nasty. They hurt, man.
Yeah. They'll give you the who goose the moose.
So at the River Crab, they didn't have a tank like they have at Red Lobster. I mean, come on, man.
no.
That's lame. I mean,
That
you would
goes-
think for that, the
The reason why they don't have a tank, Mike, is the fact that the River Crab hasn't been renovated since it opened. So
I thought maybe they'd have a wooden tank.
Yeah.
What's across the river from the River Crab? Father's Day we ate out on the deck. What was across the river? What did we look at across?
Oh yeah. It was like this castle thing. Remember, we heard. My dad says he heard that there was like a witch in there or something, and it was like over by. He told me a story that none of the boats would go over there because they wouldn't let the witch get on, and she was like trapped inside the castle. So that's the story my dad told me. So yeah,
It's true, guys.
Was it in Canada?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
right across from the River Crab is this old looking house. It's like a
castle.
a castle.
It is actually a castle.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, because
It is.
I seen the lines across like normal castles.
But did it have guards and flags and?
No. It was like an
Oh, Leo.
How
It
about
Oh.
how about
It's like a
gargoyles?
abandoned. It was like an abandoned one.
I don't know
Like
if he
there's
knows
all.
what. Do you know what a gargoyle is?
Yes, I know what a gargoyle
Of
is.
course he does, Dad. Come on.
Hey, gargoyle, more food.
Someone. He's not shy, as you can tell.
Well, yeah, we know.
Well,
He's like his dad.
Well, yeah. Well, you pulled the string. So
Oh. So what are we doing tomorrow for your birthday? We going to the where, to the jumping place?
Yeah. I like to jump.
Oh yeah,
Jump.
It's super fun.
one of those trampoline parks.
Okay.
He loves that. Yeah.
Do they have
Cool.
basketball hoops and stuff that you can
They do.
dunk the basketball? Can you
Yeah.
dunk the basketball at those?
Yeah, but except there's not like a jumpy one.
Oh, okay.
Not?
Yeah.
What's the thing that Dad always wants you to go in and you don't go in anymore?
Oh yeah. He also used to want me to go in there, but I don't go in there.
What's that
anymore.
called though? I forget.
On my first day in the grand opening, I did though.
What is it called?
It's called the I think Crusher. It's like this thing that you spin around and you have to jump over it.
Like Wipeout. Yeah, it comes
Oh
swinging
yeah.
around and then you have to jump over it when it comes. You're in a cage and it goes.
That's not good.
Yeah.
no.
Are you doing this trampoline stuff, man? You're gonna throw a hip out or something.
Listen, I haven't done it, but for his birthday, I might do it for.
Oh man.
But you're sick now.
Listen, when he came last summer to Michigan, I bought a trampoline.
Yeah.
So that he could jump on, and something in the backyard freaked him out. He wouldn't go on it unless I would go on. So I'd be working. He'd come out, Dad, come and jump, and I'd have to go out there and jump. I could make about 5 minutes, and I was like, oh man, that's it. I'm done.
I mean, people are using those little ones for exercise now. Like,
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a
no,
great
if
exercise.
Oh, it's great
you can go like 10 or 15 minutes, it's like working out for an hour. Apparently, these things.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Why did you do
Hi.
that again for extra thing?
He's son of Zara, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's son of Czar. Yep, Czar Junior.
What's that?
I'm
He's the czar of the idiot.
Exactly,
circle.
I'm
Gage.
the Czar,
Oh, I
and you're
see.
son of Czar.
I see it's right there.
Yeah.
Actually, you are Biz and he's Czar.
Yeah, you're Biz. He's Czar. Bizarre. No.
What?
So
That's
where's
a nice thing to say.
what's Daddy doing for birthday dinner? Are you making him dinner? You taking him out to dinner? What are you doing, Rob?
Where we go tonight?
We already went somewhere. It was pizza.
Yeah. What's our pizza spot? What do we like? What's
I
it
gotta
called?
remember the name.
So we go every Friday. We go to the
Yeah,
same
every
place.
Friday. Well,
We did a little
every
pizza.
Friday I'm with you. Some Fridays I'm with Mom, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
a whole process.
It's a
I
whole
think-
process.
It's
Did you have the Gage? I bet you had the meat lovers pizza, didn't you? Did you have the meat lovers?
Yeah.
Pizza.
He had a light dinner. He had about 6 pieces of pizza and 2 steaks.
Yeah, he had 6 pieces and he had 3 garlic knots.
Wow. Nice.
Tomorrow, I think we're gonna do one of his favorite meals is pork chops on the grill. So I think we're gonna do that.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome.
You got to get some bacon for breakfast, probably
Oh yeah.
a ham sandwich for lunch.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then pork chops.
Yeah, and pork chops. The boy eats, man. I'm telling you, he can eat.
Brett will probably have some pork chops tomorrow, but they'll be in a bottle. So what you got there, Gage? Some Gatorade you got going on or what?
Water.
Oh, water. Just plain old water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes we mix a little apple juice in there.
So Gage, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, I know.
You want to tell them?
Well, you may say Elf, but I think the one you like the most is Home Alone.
Oh, my.
Which one do you like better, Home Alone or Elf?
I think it's Home Alone. It's funny. It's funny.
Oh,
how
you like Elf's funny.
Well, Home Alone is like funny how he like tricks the robber to do stuff like that.
Oh, you like that when they trick the robbers?
It's funny.
What's your favorite line from Home Alone?
Well, it was probably like in Home Alone 2 when like the Marv like tries to take the water, but it actually electrocutes him.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah.
That's another funny one. And the guys, remember he says like the homeroom guys, like the guys in the hotel, like he says, this is funny, and he says, put your knees on the ground and tell me you love me.
Well, you could take that in multiple ways.
Yeah. Hey, Gage, this is a family show. Keep it clean there, buddy.
Well, wait a minute. What's your favorite line from Christmas Vacation, which is on right now, by the way? When he's emptying out the thing, what's your favorite line?
Oh yeah, this is funny. This is also yours too. We're both think this is funny. The shitter's full.
Nice.
Nice.
Classic.
You like that line?
Rob's gonna be teaching at the local community college. Parenting 101.
Yeah. What's your dad's favorite Christmas movie, Gage? Do you know?
No, I actually don't know.
I thought you knew everything about your dad.
Do you?
Well, I didn't know his favorite Christmas movie.
No.
I don't.
Probably Christmas Vacation.
Oh, okay. Now I know.
Now you know.
Now you know.
Well, ask Mike what his favorite Christmas.
Okay, Mike, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Well, of course, it's Christmas Vacation. I mean, for our generation, that's the movie. I don't get
it.
in.
Be half or half, right? A lot of people also like Christmas Story.
Yeah, come in, but Christmas Vacation's so much funnier. Come on.
I think it is.
Not even close.
What about you, Fred?
Well, I haven't seen Christmas Vacation ever, so I don't know what that. So.
Are you serious?
Yep.
You've never. Why have you never seen it? You refuse to watch it, or because I have a couple movies like that I refuse to watch, so I've never seen them. So
yeah. So after the first Vacation movie, the second one came out and it was just awful, and I knew that it wasn't going to get any better, so I just never paid attention to it.
No,
that's where you're wrong.
Vacation is better than all the other Christmas Vacation movies, even better than one.
Yes.
Well, like I said, I have no interest.
Well,
wow.
What's
okay.
Your favorite, Fred? Though, what's your favorite Christmas?
Favorite Christmas movie?
You stumped him, Gage.
You did.
Oh.
I would have to probably say Christmas Story. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, I think that would probably be it, because I'm trying to think of all the Christmas movies that are out there. There's like a million of them.
I like Four Christmases.
No, yeah, it's funny.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh, another one's a good one is A Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh yeah, I watched that the other night. That's a good one too.
That's funny.
Have you seen Mike? Have you seen what's the one we just said? Fred, not Cranks. The other one. What? Four
Christmases.
Have you seen it?
I think so. I don't remember. Was that with
John Favreau?
yeah, John Favreau. And,
that's Vince Vaughn and Reese
Vince
Witherspoon.
Vaughn. Yeah.
The scene where they're playing the trivia game.
Yeah.
And Favreau's eating the wings.
Yeah.
And she just like thinks of something. He says it. Like it's one of the funniest scenes in a movie ever.
They go around to all of his and her family, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I think the funniest part of that movie is he didn't want to do the acting at the church, and all of a sudden he
that
got into the role. I thought that was hilarious. But
He says to her, "Remember, acting's reacting. It's all about reacting." That's
right.
What
So I guess I'll have to watch Christmas Vacation because last year for the first time I saw Elf.
Elf's good.
Yeah, Elf's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I did not. I had no interest in seeing it, and my sister kept riding my rear end about about watching it, and of course it was blasphemy, within the family structure here. So I ended up watching it. It was pretty good. There's only so much of Will Ferrell you can take.
There's people like I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan. Will Ferrell's buddy, the main character in Elf, but there's a lot of people that don't like Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
it's either you like him or
you
you don't.
like me or you don't.
Yeah, and I like it. I mean, everything he's in, I love.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
Yeah.
So Die Hard, is it a Christmas movie or not? Because people claim that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Well, it's funny you say that because I had just I'd flipped on Facebook and I was listening to the watch videos, and it showed Bruce Willis at his roast, and he goes, "The only reason why I did this roast was for one reason and one reason only." He goes, and I want you guys to listen very, very closely. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Some people claim it's not a warm, fuzzy Christmas movie, but I guess.
So is Silent Night, Deadly Night a Christmas movie? Or that stupid
Bad Santa? Did you guys?
Bad
God.
Santa. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love Bad
Yikes.
Santa.
We'll watch that in a couple of years.
Yeah.
You can't watch it right
Yeah.
I
now.
know.
Yeah, you can watch it the year that you get your driver's license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite show on TV though?
Right now.
Yeah, like you and Dad watch together sometime. What do you like the show? You make Dad turn it on all the time, or you go into the on demand and you watch it yourself.
You're gonna make me do this, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna make you do
Okay. It's the Impractical Jokesters, okay?
Yes.
You want to
Good
tell
choice.
your favorite part, your favorite scene?
Oh
What
yeah.
Joe does?
This is super awkward and weird. And my dad seen it, and we told other people that we know about it. And it's the most awkwardest thing we ever seen in our whole entire life.
And what's the scene?
Okay, so Joe's punishment is to smell all the baby's diapers to find which one he pooped in like this fun daycare place where all the moms are like looking.
One of the moms says to him, "So which one's your kid?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't have a kid here." And he's going around sniffing all the babies.
To find which one is the dirty diaper.
I thought that was Q.
That was cute. I
Yeah.
said Joe because your other it was cute. The other one was, what's our other favorite? Joe's punishment, singing.
Oh yeah, it's embarrassing. I forgot most of it. But it's something like
one?
this.
Was he Aladdin or in Aladdin?
Your wig, but it's my wigs.
Oh yeah.
Things so terrible.
Did you see the one where he was in the Aladdin play and he was the genie and they had him on the
Oh yeah,
on the cable floating and
Oh, yeah.
he's knocking over the set? And that's a classic. Joe's not on there anymore though, is he?
And
No, he's not, I guess.
Mur was my favorite one.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
after I watched a lot of them, Joe
Yeah.
Joe was so animated.
Joe is fearless.
Joe was
Fearless.
like the weirdest one. So
Oh yeah,
I like him
he's
now.
fearless, you
He's
know.
my favorite laughing one.
Nothing is off limits for Joe. I mean, I very rarely see him not take the challenge, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad how it got deleted in the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We're upset about
it happens. They go on tour too. You can see them live. Did you see? You should, the next time they come around, your dad should take you to Impractical Jokers live. How about that, Gage?
Do we want to go see him live?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Except that we can't see Joe anymore.
No, maybe Joe will come out. Who knows? You never know what's going to happen.
Why is that, Mike? Was that a contract dispute thing?
No, I think him and his wife got divorced, and he did it so he could spend more time with his kids. I think that's
something like that.
I
Yeah.
think that's what they said. So yeah, but I've watched so many. I still turn it on, like, and even though I've seen the episode probably 5 times, I still watch it. They'll do a lot of stuff at this mall in New Jersey, and it's only like 2 miles from the hotel I stay at when I go to my customer in New Jersey. It's literally 2 miles down the road, this mall, where they're always, when they're doing the fishing, they have the fishing line and they're trying to reel in people's bags and stuff. I've been to that mall
remember that
many
time, Dad,
times.
where they were like throwing underwears down in the mall so they could like see how many underwears they can get in people's purses.
I like when they do the laser on the people, and the guys have to touch the laser on the people, like they put it on the back of their head or their butt or their foot or whatever.
They're like a cat.
Just like a cat.
Any topics to this week, guys? Sure, there's some sports topics with all the stuff going on.
Well, great news for the Red Wings. Jacob Brana has been reinstated back with the team. So found that out today.
Why was he off the team?
He was
didn't know, right?
He was in the mental health or health protocol.
Mental health protocol? I didn't know there was such a thing.
Well, it's for mental health, or if you have personal issues off the ice that needs to be taken care of. It's that type of thing. They really never specified why he went in, but I know that he had surgery, and for all I know, he might have gotten hooked on some meds or something like that. I don't know. But he picked up on it right away and went in there just to make sure everything, got straightened out a little bit.
So he could have been in rehab.
Yeah, it's something like it's
Could have been, right? I mean, it's just like PTO. It's like, he gets time away and
isn't sports funny these days? Can you imagine Gordie Howe going on PTO?
Oh no. For mental health issues.
Yeah, I need a mental health day.
Yeah.
Well, you saw what happened. One of the teams, I can't remember, somebody got fined a boatload of money because they rested too many of their guys on their team.
Really?
Yeah, trying to remember what team it was, but I mean, seriously,
probably a team LeBron James is on.
Oh god, it would be the Lakers.
They're playing pretty good, Mike.
Who?
Lakers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't watch it. I don't even pay attention. For all I know, the Lakers could not be a team anymore. I wouldn't even know about it.
Oh, seriously, I could not tell you every team in the NBA anymore. And nor could I name at least one player on every team. I couldn't. There's no way. I mean, I don't even know if I could name 4 teams with one player. I don't even know if I don't think I could do it. I don't follow it anymore. I really don't.
I probably
it was the Miami Heat. They got fined $25,000 for arresting people. So they listed all their players on the injury report after being fined.
25,000. That's like you and I getting fined $1.
Yeah, no
probably 30 cents.
We're gonna charge you 30 cents. Like, come on, what a joke. How about, speaking of jokes, how about Deoin Sanders taking over coach of the Colorado Buffaloes?
Yeah, pretty interesting, right?
It is interesting.
Yep, and you see that all those kids leaving Jackson State, and they're all coming to Colorado. And I don't know if you guys saw his speech in front of the team.
The one saying they couldn't wear hats in meetings, and he was wearing a hat.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of funny.
Right.
But to mention that, he goes, hey, you kept saying, I'm coming. I'm coming. When I come, he goes, I'm not coming alone. He goes, I got luggage, and he goes, and it's Louis.
Wait a minute. Was that Deoin Sanders saying that or Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson?
No, I think it was Mel Tucker.
Yeah. Funny.
So let me get this straight. He's saying he's coming, but he's already there. Is that he's standing in the Colorado facility saying I'm coming and he's already there? Is that
Well, I just
what I'm
think,
hearing?
I think it's funny that I see him probably doing really well there. Because he'll get players to come here. I know he's already got a couple 5-stars coming in. And obviously a bunch of kids are going to be jumping in the portal from Colorado, because especially the quarterbacks, because they know that his son is going to be the quarterback, even though he says he has to earn it. Yeah, okay, sure.
I feel
He'll get a lot.
the opposite.
He'll get a lot of
Sure.
showboaters, but I don't think he'll have any guys that can play as a team.
You can,
All he has to do is surround himself with with the staff that knows what they're doing, and it'll make him look like a genius.
Well, yeah, but I disagree. Recruiting at the HBCU level is a whole different man at the big boy level. And again, just like we talk about the Lions and draft picks don't mean shit. Neither do 5-stars. If you can't get them on the field and develop them,
that's true.
It means nothing. I think he'll get kids, but then he'll have issues about not getting kids developed and playing.
Yeah, it'll be the Miami of the Pac-12.
The Miami Pac-12 is going to be like Pac-8.
Yeah, they're gonna be packing pretty soon, I think.
They lose UCLA, they use USC, they lose Oregon, they lose who else, Fred?
Probably Washington.
Probably.
Yeah, they're losing like 4 or 5 teams. So I don't know if they're going to replace them with other teams, but it's going to be different out there for sure.
Yeah, I just don't see Colorado being anything. I really don't.
Plus, they play in a weak conference. Well,
if you can see Utah going from the Pac-12 to, let's say, the Big 12, because they play defense, they'll probably dominate that conference.
So next year they'll be in the top 5, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
that's a possibility. Who knows?
I mean, that's a team that plays as a team. I mean, you got to give them credit for that. I mean, they don't have big names, and that coach is, I don't know, he's done a hell of a job there, I think. At Utah. It's incredible. Like they play with the chip on their shoulder. They're like, Michigan State was 10 years ago. They play with the chip.
Antonio years.
Yeah, they play with a chip on their shoulder, and they really don't get the respect, and they just beat the crap out of teams. So they ruined Oregon's chances last year. They ruined USC's chances this year. For the college playoffs. I mean, that's incredible.
I see Michigan State just signed a big DT recruit. It's transfer portal guy.
Yeah.
He's got a big defensive tackle.
Did you see what Fred posted earlier? There's a little clip about the teams that have the most people in the transfer portal. Texas A&M has 21.
I saw that. Yeah,
last year they had the most. They got the most from the transfer portal, and now they're giving up the most in the transfer portal.
Oh yeah.
So
top 3 are Texas A&M, Alabama, and one other school. I can't remember what the other school was.
Did you see what Saban said about that?
No.
He addressed that very thing. They asked him about it, and for once he didn't give a smart ass, aloof, condescending answer. He just said, that's right. He goes, I acknowledge that. And somehow we got to do a better job of being more relatable to our kids and our athletes, and showing them that they really mean something to us here at Alabama.
Well, I just find it funny that he tried to, and I was upset that he didn't get to go, get put into the playoff. I'm like, well, dude, don't lose 2 games.
Two
Exactly.
losses. I mean, even the people are coming out. I mean, non-Alabama people saying, well, Shannon Sharp saying, why aren't they in? It's like, Shannon, 2 losses. Nobody in the top 4 has more than 1 loss.
Right.
So how can you not understand that?
Well, Shannon needs to do 2 things: think before he speaks and get that tongue out of the way.
Just
Fred's a
crazy.
big Shannon Sharp fan.
Yeah,
Him and Skip Bayless can go bowling for all I care. Go away.
42 bowl games this year.
Yeah, I think is the first one tonight.
It was
Yeah.
today.
Oh,
Today.
Who
Yeah.
played today? Like,
UCLA.
why was it today? I don't know. Let's see who played today.
It was Maryland and UAB.
Really?
Who won the game? You know, Fred?
I think UAB did.
Ooh.
UAB, they weren't even a team a couple years ago, right?
Oh, that's the team that lost their football about 10, 15 years ago. Yeah.
I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was they've only been back
About
for a
5
couple
or
years.
6.
They have,
Yeah.
but when they lost it, they didn't have a team for like 10 years.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have Troy versus UTSA, and Troy won 18-12. And then we had UAB over Miami of Ohio, not Maryland, but
Oh, okay.
Miami
Sorry.
of Ohio. No, that's fine. So UAB won 24-20.
So,
Wow,
There's
close
a
games.
funny story about the UAB Miami of Ohio game. Is the star running back from UAB planned on playing, and he got down to the Bahamas and he said, "Yep, I'm not playing." So
Really?
instead of being left at home, he went down there acting like he was going to play, and then
He took the free trip, is what you're saying. Oh, that's
Oh,
gonna
boy.
work. That's gonna bode well for him.
well,
Ooh.
it doesn't matter. These bowl games. I mean, did you see? I mean, Purdue's got all these guys that aren't playing because they're opting out. I mean, Charlie Sizzle, O'Donnell, all those guys aren't playing.
Like those guys are actually gonna.
Yeah,
make
I was gonna
the
say,
NFL.
like,
Why are they not playing in the bowl game when you're not going to be a top 1 or first, second round pick? Play in the bowl game.
So I was listening to Rico on 97.1.
Oh, you
And
love him.
No, yeah, I love him. But he made a good point about these bowl games because they're becoming
Frivolous.
they're basically, it's like going to watch an NFL exhibition game where you get to see the guys play one series.
Yeah.
And so he said that these bowls should, since you got the NIL stuff, reach out to these guys and say, hey, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to at least play in the game, at least half the game. If
That's not a bad idea, Mike, to keep the bowl games. I mean, what the hell?
I mean, I like bowl games. I mean, I don't watch them all because I can't. What is it? 42 bowl games or something. I can't watch that many, but I don't.
Well,
I
not
don't
to mention the
mind.
fact that you got 2 or 3 on at the same time, so it's not like
Right.
you can see 'em.
I mean, I watch them once in a while. I mean,
I
what's
do-
upsetting this year is none of them are on January 1st
Not
because
one.
it's on Sunday.
Yeah, it's the first time that I can remember that ever
I've
happened.
never heard of that. That's never happened in my lifetime that they didn't have New Year's Day bowl games.
Yeah, because look at all those records. Fred and I were talking about this. One time Michigan held a record, the longest streak of New Year's Day bowls, like 38 in a row. It was something insane. Next, only followed by Nebraska. It had half that. And now you change everything. Now you know what the new thing in college football, Mike, is? 15. That's what you go in the season with, because if you win 15, you've won the national championship.
Yeah.
You got to play and win 15 games.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that they're expanding the playoff. I think that will make the games more.
So let me ask you,
valuable.
does this mean that college football will be finished at the end of January? I mean,
No, I think.
you're going to play a regular schedule like they normally play.
Yeah.
Well,
Then you got these 12 teams that are going to play.
Yeah, but you got 3 weeks in between
yeah, they
the
might
last
play
time Michigan played and then when
Yeah.
they have to play again. That's 3 weeks.
No, there was actually 45 days actually, or something like that, from the time Michigan, I forget how many, 32 days. So after you do your championship game for your actually, this is what that.
Well, they played on the Big Ten championship was on the 3rd, right?
Yeah, the week after Thanksgiving. Then
Right. So then they're
you
playing
can
again
play
on the
before.
31st.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So you got 4 weeks in between.
You can play games.
You got plenty of.
Actually, to tell you the truth, honestly, if you do a 12-game system, and I think this is what will eventually happen, get rid of the championship games.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
The
not
conference
the
championship.
conference championship games. Get rid.
For what I've heard, that the Big Ten, with the addition of USC and UCLA, that the conference is going away from the divisions.
They are
Right, but still going to have a championship.
Yeah.
Well, yes, they are. They're going to all play, and then one will play 4, 2 will play 3, and then 5 will play 6, 7 will play 8. And all the way right down the line.
I don't think
because they'll leave that.
They could do that because
they're going to leave week 2. They're going to leave week 12 as an open.
I think now it's just going to be top 2 teams play each other. You can't add that many games because those teams will also win the championship. That won't happen.
It's got to be number 1 versus number 2 for
number 1 against number 2. But I think again, there'll be a point where it says these conference games are just they're not anything, because you're going to have teams.
No, it just puts you in a position where you don't have any chance of
here's the
have
thing,
anything good happen.
If Michigan played Purdue and there was a 12-team system, doesn't matter if Purdue would have won that game. Michigan's not going to be out. So they'll say, what's the point of playing it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think they should just have, it's hard to say. I mean, with the 12-team system, I mean, still like SEC, the top 2 SEC teams, even if they play each other, they're probably both going to get in. I mean, this year was a fluke that you had LSU losing 3 games and Alabama losing 2 games. And I think that's kind of a fluke year, but normally, so.
Do you think it's a fluke year, or are you thinking some of those teams are going to turn into like Clemson where they kind of
Alabama? No way.
No, I don't know if it's a fluke year as much as, I hated to see the Big Ten increase, because let SEC increase with these teams like Texas and who will get better, and Texas A&M will get better, and Alabama. You're just making your road harder to the championship. Well,
I think another thing that's difficult, honestly, is traveling out to the West Coast.
Yeah,
I mean, you got UCLA and USC.
Well, they got to come the other way too. So
right.
But he's saying that, Fred, that in college football, teams that go coast to coast, the percentage of wins aren't great for the team travel.
Well, it's no different. It's the same in the NFL. Same.
Yeah, but the NFL has to be that way. But you don't. Yeah. What Mike's saying is you make your conferences regional and just leave.
Oh yeah, that would make complete sense. But of course, they're looking for money.
Yeah,
it's what it's become is a cash cow for all these universities.
What do you think about Ojibwe, or whatever his name is, not playing in the championship series?
Who?
The Ohio State receiver.
Oh, you mean
Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Yeah,
and Jigba. Yeah.
Well, he just heard his draft status, I think.
Well, he's heard his status for his team too, right? I mean,
but he hasn't played all. I mean, he's missed a lot of games this year.
I know, but the only chance they would have is to be full staff against Georgia.
Well, and of course, their running backs out too. So
yeah, so it's even more important to have him in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's funny that I'm seeing a lot of people post on TikTok, by the way, how making these cases for how Ohio State can beat Georgia. I'm like,
no way.
No way. They're going to lose by 4 touchdowns. Trust me.
I don't know if it's going to be that high, because really Georgia hasn't really rolled the really bad teams, they've rolled that high, but most of the other games, I think they win by a couple touchdowns. But I don't think it's going to be.
Is so soft.
I don't think it's going to be close.
Ohio State's defense is soft. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
there's a big difference between sitting out a bowl game at 6-6 and sitting out in a college football playoff game.
championships.
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's just,
Especially when you have aspirations to go to the NFL.
I mean, how can you, as a teammate of that guy, how can you defend that guy?
You can't.
I don't think they are.
No, they are. The quarterback is. What's his what's his face?
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, he's defending him. Like, how can you though? I mean, that's I
Bosa
just don't
did
get it.
something similar.
Was he
Yeah, but he wasn't. They didn't go to the college playoff. I mean, he just they
No,
played.
they were in the
They
high
played in the
school.
Rose Bowl.
They did.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure they lost to Alabama in the championship game that year. He set out.
I don't know. Well, another reason to hate
But-
him, right?
Well, not to mention he left during the year. I mean, it was like the third game of the year, and
That's
he
true.
said, "I'm done. I'm just gonna finish my school and up, and I'm gonna train for the draft." So
Yeah, I don't know. I like we've kind of said before, like what's going on with college football, we're gonna end up being, not even being interested in college football and just watching high school football.
and that's the scary part. Wait till you see that all of a sudden the NIL or something gets in where it gets into the high schools.
Oh, it will.
And
it will.
And this is the stuff that haunts my dreams at night, thinking that so you take something pure like college sports and high school sports, and all of a sudden now Satan's like creeping into it, and it's going to screw everything up.
This is a wild dream you're having, Satan infesting the football team.
Well, I'm just saying, it's just
Like
ridiculous.
that, you wake him and goes, Central Michigan.
He wakes up in a cold sweat. That the
Remember
guy
when-
transferred from Central.
Did you ever see the movie Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah,
When you wake my hair.
the pomade.
Yeah, the pomade. It's not a jelly, it's a pomade, and it has a pleasing smell. That's part of the
That's part of the appeal.
that's part of the appeal. I love that.
Oh, Fred probably didn't see it. He
Brother,
hasn't
Where
seen
Art
that
Thou?
either.
Oh my God, it's a Coen brother film. It's loosely based off the Odyssey. Oh, it's a great movie, Fred. Great movie. Yeah.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, I'm
The
not a big-
music's awesome too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I know the music's good.
Yeah.
I can only stomach George Clooney for.
He's
so-
not bad in this though. He's actually
Not
pretty
bad.
good at. Yeah, it's good. I think it's good. How about our Lions?
How about him, huh?
Wow, are they gonna win in New York, Fred?
Well, they blew past my win total, so I'm out of the. I'm
Yeah,
out of the
well,
game.
They
Well,
might-
the one thing that I can say is there's the injury report hasn't come out on the Jets. If that Quinn Richardson is out, that is a huge advantage for the Lions. Not to mention the fact that Mike White is not playing, and Zach Wilson. That's the only thing that scares me a little bit. All of a sudden, this kid's going to wake up and all of a sudden have the game of his life. Trying to win the respect back from his team. But I don't know if he can after what happened and what he said to the media before he got benched. But
Mike, did you see the clip of Campbell, saying, in the headset, we're gonna pass it,
Yeah.
whatever in the season. What the fuck?
That's awesome. What was he paying attention to? I forget what he was
The
paying attention.
wave.
The wave, yeah, the wave in the stadium. That's a classic line.
well,
I heard that
there's a
few
true
of the-
definition of ADD.
Yeah, no doubt.
Squirrel.
I've heard that a few of the Lions starters are sick. Like Hutchinson's sick right now too.
Oh,
That's
really?
what I just saw something just before we went on. I was reading.
Yeah,
He's one of them. I don't know who else, but
they're all questionable.
flu or something.
There's only two guys that are out, and one is a backup offensive lineman, and the other one is Barnes, the linebacker.
One of them said I read Hutchinson's sick too.
Yeah, the rest of them are It says questionable.
They played a hell of a game last week.
They really did. They're looking.
I mean, I I'm going to eat my words. Jared Goff has been looking pretty damn good
I'm going to eat my
as a
words. He
quarterback.
looks great.
Yep.
He found his niche in the system. That's for sure.
Well, I know you love this word, Rob, but they're saying that the Lions culture is completely turned around.
Oh,
Completely,
wait a minute.
totally redeemed themselves.
Wait. I mean, would there be any question that I mean that whether you like Campbell or not, whether you like where they sit in their win and loss record right now, and they started out 1-6, whatever, you have to understand the culture has changed there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were right all along. What they were saying was, even during the hard knocks, is that they're close. They just got to finish it. And they weren't wrong. Here were, this losing streak they had, we're all like, it's the same old Lions. But really, if we were paying attention, it wasn't the same old Lions, right? They were close. They were getting closer.
I think it was the M&M visit.
Was that what it was? He looked so awkward in that.
He did.
Yeah, because he looks like he's 2'5". He looks like an Oompa Loompa talking to all those guys.
Yeah.
But the only thing that scares me is the fact that we still don't have a legitimate kicker like we used to have. Badgley has been okay, but when it comes down to it, you need a 46-yard field goal. Matt Prater, Jason Hansen.
Well, that's why they're going to get Jake Moody next year. He's going to be in a Lions uniform.
That would be a beautiful thing if that was the case.
I hope so.
And then I've started seeing some of these mock drafts for this upcoming draft, and Todd McShay's got them picking C.J. Stroud in the first pick. I'm like,
oh no.
I'm like, hell
no.
Well, because right now they're picking. Right now, well, see, and I told you how I was concerned about the Rams getting Baker Mayfield. And you saw what happened last week.
Lit it up.
Well, not so much lit it up. The fact is that he lit it up at the
48 hours before.
He lit it up when it was time.
Yeah, but I changed my tune on him too. I think he's a little bit toxic. I think if the Lions would have picked him up, that would have ruined things.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. But the thing is, he's better than what the Rams had. Besides Stafford. And of course, we want them to lose because every time LA loses, the pick goes up higher.
Well, of course.
So if
but the Lions don't have anybody either. So I mean,
I think Mike hit a good point though. Is like, I wanted them to take Baker before the season.
So did I.
And I was wondering why they didn't. But we just talked about it. They're more worried about their culture now than who they draft. When they draft now. I was telling Fred the other day, you always looked at the draft picks, go, well, maybe, let's see, or Fred would get mad at a lot of draft picks. Now you got to trust them. Like they are going to pick the right people that are going to fit that culture and that system. Yeah, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because they've done a good job on their draft last year.
Oh, and they're doing better. They're getting more wins this year than they did last year. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Well, that's not saying much, but it's
but they went 2 years where they couldn't do that.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
They've been numerous years where they couldn't do that.
Numerous that's the perfect word, Mike. Numerous.
Yeah.
But the big thing is they have 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and a third. So 5 of the top 75 players are going to be in camp next year with the Lions. And I think that is huge, and they all could be starters for sure.
Do you think they need to pick a quarterback, 1 more receiver, and then focus on defense?
Nope.
No.
To me, it's all defense. And if there's a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round that you might have, a chance to pick up, just to give them a chance. And it's nothing that's going to cost you anything. Because again, I mean, you're talking about if you're in the first 3 picks, you're either getting Jalen Carter, or you're getting Will Anderson, and then down the road with the 2nd pick in the 1st round, you have a chance to get somebody like Joey Porter Jr., the corner out of Penn State. That right there sets up your defense quite nicely when you got two bookends, you got Porter Jr. and you got Akuda on both ends, which is funny that I'm even saying Akuda. But what a
He's making us eat our words too.
Yeah,
Isn't he?
what a transformation. But then you put Will Anderson or Jalen Carter in there with Aiden Hutchinson and in Malcolm Rodriguez, and and Anzalone's probably playing his best football of his career this year. And of course you got Houston and you got Aleem McNeil. You got all these guys that the light bulbs finally kind of gone off, and next thing you know, things are going great. Plus you got Jacobs, who was a undrafted guy that they picked up, and he's starting there and he's doing great. Chase Lucas has been doing. He was the seventh round pick out of Oregon State. That's done very nicely. And then you got guy who took over for Tracy Walker. I'm trying to remember his name. It's slipping my mind right now, but he's whatever his name is. I know he has been a big surprise in that backfield. So I think when you can shore up your defense and get a little bit more depth. I think offensively, sure, we're gonna have to at some point draft
Dan
a quarterback.
Patrick was saying, I was listening to the Dan Patrick show yesterday, and he was saying him and his flunkies on that thing, they were going over some of the teams that are really trending, and they brought up the Lions. They said, yeah, but the Lions have done it against some weak defenses lately. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that was in the years before, didn't matter. Lions would lose those games anyway. So
Right.
They're winning the games they're supposed to be winning. And that's really important.
Okay, so when they say weak defenses, was Buffalo's defense weak?
Well,
no, I mean,
Buffalo's well, they didn't win the game, first of all. And Buffalo
with 3 seconds left in the game, they had the lead.
Yeah, but he's saying the games they won. So,
Okay.
but even to your point though, Fred, Buffalo's defense has not been what they were touted as. It's a little bit of a letdown.
Well, let's just say this: they can say whatever they want about defenses. The Lions can't make up their schedule, so they got to beat whoever they beat.
That's
And again, going on the road and beating teams, be it the Giants, be it and who was at that time was 7-2 at the time.
And the Lions were favored in that game.
You go to Chicago in crappy weather, you're always figuring you're always going to lose that game, and somehow they bucked up and pulled out a win there. Those are things that haven't happened in Detroit probably since 1957.
Fred, who has more? Who has a bigger problem? The Packers or the
Bears
or the Saints? Well, it's funny. The Bears,
the Packers, or the who?
Saints. Who has more of a problem? They're both not. They don't have a bright future right now. Neither one.
I would tell you. I would say that Green Bay is worse than New Orleans, and here's why I say that. Still have Taysom Hill. Kamara is still serviceable. They got Chris Olave, who's probably going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. He won't win it, but he'll get some votes. Whereas who's running the football for Green Bay?
Jones.
Who's the wide receiver that's dynamic other than Christian Watson, who it took him a little while. Other than that, who else do they got? They don't have anybody. And the thing is sure, New Orleans will probably go out and they'll get a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers.
No, they won't.
Oh, well, I don't know.
They spend too much money, and you still hear that organization think he's the right person.
Well, I think they'll reevaluate at the end of the year. But
Mike, what do you say?
The simple fact is Green Bay, fine, you have Aaron Rodgers, but if you have no one to run the football and no one to throw it to, they have no tight ends. They have nothing.
Well, they don't have an offensive line anymore.
No, and that defense is putrid. So I'd say New Orleans has got a brighter future than Green Bay.
How about you, Mike?
Well, I think, Green Bay's in trouble for sure, but, for years, Rodgers didn't really have many people around him and they were still good. So I don't know what's going on now because, some of the receivers that he had all those years that they were good were virtually unknown, right? Until
Yeah.
until he,
made
you know,
him.
he made him better. That's for sure. So, you know, I think Rodgers is on the decline. That's the biggest thing. So
Yep, I agree.
Rodgers is on the decline, and I think you know, Hill's probably only going to get better, and I think Rodgers is only going to get worse.
How about
So
this one, Mike? I start with you. Who, and they're both division opponents, who is in trouble for the future? The Atlanta Falcons or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
oof, that's a close one, right? I mean,
Buccaneers,
Buccaneers,
they're in trouble.
They're in trouble.
they are. I mean,
I-
because they were putting a lot of eggs in the Brady basket, and
Well,
not
you know,
then
they
what's
lost
next
all.
after
They
him?
lost. They got a guy that retires off the offensive line. They traded. They traded.
Tay's always hurt.
Their defense is injury prone. I mean that whole defensive backfield has been decimated by injury. Their running game is non-existent. Leonard Fournette looks like Craig Hayward right now.
He looks
But
like Lacey. Remember Lacey from
Yeah.
Alabama? Went to
Oh, yeah.
Green Bay and
Yeah.
torched right up.
But if you look at Atlanta right now, I mean, when you have somebody like Kyle Pitts, and
Oh,
you know, and
So good.
you have an offensive line that's young, still learning, and a defensive team that, you know, it's maybe 2 or 3 players away, you know, but right now, I mean, you know, they already benched Mariota. Now they went with Desmond Ritter from, you know, the quarterback from Cincinnati, the rookie. So they're gonna see some things. That division is winnable at 500. You know, that's. I mean, we laugh about that, but again, I mean, usually
Usually that's the NFC North.
yeah.
well,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, and usually it's the AFC with, you know,
Yeah.
the AFC, the one with Houston and the
Fred, I'll
Colts and all that.
start with you. Who's
Yeah.
in more trouble right now? The Cleveland Browns or the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I would say right now, because they sold their soul for the
BS?
rub and tugger.
The
rub and tugger. I would say Cleveland's heading back to where Cleveland used to be. I think Pittsburgh. I think Mike Tomlin has probably ran his course a little bit. I think they got their quarter. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be perfectly fine. I think Najee Harris is a good running back. Now, mind you, Cleveland does have Nick Chubb and they have Kareem Hunt, you know, to share the load. The problem is let's see what Deshaun Watson does this week after having a few more reps during a game. Defensively, I think Cleveland's probably in a better position. So I mean, it's one of those ones where, you know, I mean,
Even?
they're pretty close, but it's going to take something where if the Deshaun Watson experience doesn't work out, it's going to really
What say you,
put
Mike?
Cleveland back in the Stone Ages.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Deshaun Watson. I think he's the factor. So if he does well, the team's going to do well. But I just don't. I don't know if he's going to. I think, I don't know. Is that fan base at Cleveland excited about having Deshaun Watson as their quarterback? I mean,
well, you know,
because we know Cleveland fans can be pretty freaking vocal and pretty rowdy, and if they don't get behind them, they're going to be sunk.
The
Well,
Browns fans are rowdy.
Cleveland?
Yeah. Sarcasm, hint of sarcasm there. Well, let's put it this way. It's like when the Red Wings picked up Chris Chelios and everybody's like, oh my God, what the hell would you pick him up for? And all of a sudden he starts playing well for him. Next thing you know, everybody's going out and buying his jersey and they love him. Well, it's funny how wins do that, and they forget about everything that's happened off the field.
Mike, I'll start with you on this one. Who's in a worse position? The Houston Texans
God.
or the Denver Broncos?
Ooh, Jesus. Why do you give me the tough ones, man? Oh, wow. Denver, who would have thought that? I mean, they've been a dumpster fire for what, the past 6 years, it seems like. I never would have
Since John
thought
Elway
that.
took over.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never would have thought that Russell Wilson would be doing as poorly as he is. That's shocking to me. So what is that? Was he not that good in Seattle, and maybe the people around him and his coaching staff had a lot to do with it? I don't know. How do you go from being that good at Seattle to being horrible at Denver? I don't get it.
You don't have a lot around
it's
you, though.
it's called the offensive line and a running game, which he doesn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a sieve. I mean, if you saw that hit he took the other day, and they panned the camera right on his face. I mean, it was.
I mean, who do the Texans even have at quarter? I don't even know who the quarterback is.
David Mills is their quarterback.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
honestly,
I gotta think that the Broncos could turn it around with a quarterback like Wilson. He's obviously, I never even heard of the guy
So
from the Texans.
The scuttlebutt is they have, without a doubt, the Texans now have the first pick. They've almost locked up the first pick.
Yeah.
And do they take Caleb, I mean, or do they take
who?
The quarterback?
Carter.
USC?
Oh no.
No, he's not leaving.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams.
He already announced
When?
today.
It didn't say, I've been on ESPN all day, and it didn't say anything about him leaving.
I'm pretty sure I got a notification that he just declared himself for the draft.
Well, maybe they'll take CJ Stroud before the Lions do.
Well, here's the thing.
Well,
Most people think that they're going to take what's his name out of Alabama.
Bryce Young.
Yeah. And
Man.
you don't see it, Fred?
no, I just went right down to the top headlines in college football, and that is not one of them.
So let's say they take Bryce Young, or who should they take? I mean, the Texans. I mean, they will be picking a quarterback. That's
yes. I don't know. I mean, I don't like either one. Well, first of all, CJ Stroud has got a stronger arm than Bryce Young, but Bryce Young is mobile and CJ Stroud's not. And again, the old adage, name an Ohio State quarterback that's been successful in the NFL
ever. Tom Tupa.
And he was a punter. And Art Schleister, and I'll bet you any money that he had a horrible year. Horrible time.
No, don't bet against Art.
Yeah, don't bet against Art.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't bet with Art.
Yeah, don't bet with
that's
him.
right.
Bet with Art.
But don't bet against him either.
Who has more upside right now in the NFL? These two teams.
Which two
Jacksonville Jaguars or our Detroit Lions?
The Lions.
Lions.
Without a
the
doubt.
Lions do.
Now, mind you, I mean, given Trevor Lawrence another year under center, add in a couple more pieces to through free agency in the draft, they could wreak some havoc in the AFC. But again, right now, if the Lions can continue doing what they're doing right now and build from the draft now, people that are in free agency aren't going to be afraid to come to Detroit because of the culture, and some of these players are going to reach out to these players and say, hey, dude, you want to come here and play? Because I can tell you right now, you'll run through a brick wall for this guy. And that coaching staff, hopefully that coaching staff stays together and doesn't venture off getting head coaching jobs. But I think Detroit, from what we have seen over the last 7 weeks, to me gives anybody hope that they're only a few pieces away from being a playoff contender and wreaking some havoc in the playoffs.
Mike, what are the chances of an all Big Ten championship, and how good would that be for the conference?
It would be awesome, but I think there's slim to no chance that Ohio State beats Georgia.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying a chance, like 1 in a million, but I'm saying there's a chance.
Slim to none, and Slim just left town.
So let's put it this way: if Stetson Bennett and Bowers And what's the other guy? Jackson, the other tight end. If they all get
Yeah.
injured, then Ohio State might
Yeah,
have a
and
chance.
Jalen Carter opts out of playing, and
Yeah.
yeah, and you're gonna have.
I don't think it's going to happen, but
No.
I honestly think that Michigan can hang with Georgia this year. I really
So
do.
that's
think
my
they
next
can.
question. It's like, how good would it be for the Big Ten to finally right a ship and Michigan beat Georgia in that championship?
It'll
Turn
be
the
awesome because
tides.
it
Turn the
would
tides.
just, well, not to mention it would help recruiting. I mean, they're doing they're under the radar. They're doing a pretty nice job with the transfer portal and also, with their commitments. But I mean, it goes to show you. I mean, you had two guys down at Ohio State visiting Ohio State, and after that game, they decommitted from Ohio State and went to Michigan. So, so I think there's a lot of good coming our way, both in our professional team and our college team. Now we just need to have Michigan State kind of become a little bit more relevant, and take care of business with some of the other teams except Michigan.
When D'Antoni was the coach of Michigan State, I had respect for that team. I have zero respect.
Oh, so do I. I mean,
I'm
right there.
I don't want to see them succeed as long as he's the head coach. I think he's a total asshole. I really do.
Well,
I just think
they got more problems there than just what's going on the field, right? You can tell
for sure.
Those kids don't understand respect, and they don't understand what it means to have an opportunity like that. That's my feeling.
I mean, you watch him on the sidelines. The guy has a permanent scowl on his face, like he's an angry man. There's no doubt about it. So, yeah,
Right.
and I'm sure the players hear it in earful from him all the time. I mean, I just don't. I don't know.
He's had 5 or 6 people decommit or jumped in the transfer portal in the last 3 weeks.
I think they made a huge mistake giving him that much money.
Oh,
he got a big head. I mean, he's getting some recruits. There's no doubt he's getting some recruits, but like we said before, just because you get 5 stars doesn't mean you're gonna, be a winning team.
That's true.
No.
I mean,
Antonio won 3 Big Ten championships with 3 and 2.5, 3.5 stars.
And I think Michigan is getting a lot of other players, I mean,
oh yeah,
they just are. I mean, there's a lot of good players on the team, but they didn't really start out that way. I mean, they don't get very many 5 stars. They just don't.
Nice thing is
maybe every year, 1 or 2.
Just picked up a freshman linebacker from Nebraska.
Yeah, and the transfer, he was started 7 games for them, and he had like 12 tackles and a sack against Michigan. I mean, he's the only one that did anything on defense when they played this year. So he is transferring to Michigan. So it's things are looking good. I mean, I really do think they have a chance this year. I think last year, and they even admitted it, like their goal last year was to beat Ohio State and to get to the Big Ten championship. I mean, that was their goal. They weren't even thinking about national championship. Now they're thinking about it.
Beat Ohio State again, win the Big Ten and win the national championship.
Correct.
Right.
So I think they're focused, and Georgia's a great team. I think their defense is a lot better than their offense for sure.
Oh, there's no question about that.
I think Michigan's defense is, not as good as Georgia, but it's close. I think Michigan's offense is a lot better than Georgia's offense. I really do. So I think Michigan's got a real shot.
Even without
Corum? Yeah. Look at Edwards. Look what he did. He totally destroyed Ohio State.
Someone just told me that that Corum's surgery was just a meniscus thing. So a guy that I work with said he's got some guys that he.
Oh, here we go. We got a good
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, saying that he goes, I still think he might play in the national championship game. He goes because he hasn't come out and no one else has come out and said he's done for the year. It was speculation that he had surgery and he was done for the year by the press, but he didn't come out. He didn't come out and say he was done. I think he's done, but again, he hasn't really come out and said that, hey, I'm not going to play in the national championship.
What Georgia won't do, though, I rewatched the Michigan-Ohio State game the other night. What Georgia won't do will get themselves caught into those where they're mismatched and where they blown a coverage, and you're not going to have what those 4 big plays that you had in that game. I just don't see that happening. Maybe once, but not that many times. I mean, watch Ohio State's defense.
Yeah,
they gave up a couple times, and they were not in the right positions to make plays.
McCarthy's going to have to use his feet as well as his arm.
Yeah,
and
will help.
And then of course we have to establish the run in some way.
Well, I think they need to use his feet to create the pass.
Right.
I think I said this all along. I think he throws better on the run anyway. Yeah. So I think you move him out and you give him the option to run or pass. I mean, and I think the defensive backs are going to make a difference in this game too. They're really stepping up. They're starting to get interceptions now. And hey, you get one touchdown off of the defense, that's going to change a lot in this game. It really is.
I don't know if I've ever seen a better throwing quarterback going to his opposite hand side than maybe like Elway. I mean, to watch him roll out to the left and throw across his body with the accuracy, on the pinpoint down on the sideline is amazing.
It's bizarre because he stands back in the pocket, and until last week he couldn't hit a guy beyond 20 yards to save his life.
Yeah, he still has. I still think he has footwork issues because he does overthrow a lot of receivers.
Mm-hmm. And I think it is.
I think the game is slowed down for him. I think it's really slowed down for him, and it's really his time in getting extra reps and stuff like that has also helped him as well. I think that the game is kind of slowed down for him a little bit, where he's a little bit more under control. He does stay in the pocket, but he knows he can take off and run as well. So you're going to probably see him run a little bit more in the next 2 games than we saw the whole year.
I don't think it's to Michigan's advantage for him to drop back and pass. I really don't, because and I think that's the issue with this. I think you're right exactly on the mechanics and the footwork, because he's more of a throw on the run guy. It's like Steve Young at San Francisco. He wasn't a drop back passer, and they knew it. So they took advantage of that. I think they need to design more plays for that to happen, because even that second pass to Cornelius Johnson, he underthrew that ball. Johnson had to wait for it, come back, and that he was wide open. There wasn't a guy within 15 yards of him, and he had to wait for the ball. I mean, that's not accurate. Did he get the ball to him? Yes. Did he hit him in stride? No. That he hasn't been hitting him in stride even on the deep balls. But you watch him when he's rolling out. I can't believe the throws that he can make when he's rolling out.
It's amazing. Right. It really is.
Right.
So I think it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, hey guys, someone messaged me on Facebook. Bill Endress, class of 1986, came on and said, hey, I have an idea for you guys. And I'm like, well, what's that? He goes, what you should do is have people send videos of them cruising their idiot circle.
We can't get people comment on the damn Facebook.
We're not going to be able to get them to post videos.
Well, I just thought that was kind of a cool idea.
It is a cool idea.
It is.
Sure.
So I told him, I said, well, you better be the first one cruising where you live with Wayne.
He's saying people from Marine City doing it from where they live.
Yeah, wherever and then send it and posting it, and then we'll put it on the show. One day we'll do right at the end of the show, we'll put 2 or 3 people on. And
well, thanks, Bill. It is.
I think it's kind of a cool idea. So people who are listening, all 4 of you, I know some of you are probably all 4 of you are going to be doing right downtown Marine City, but hey, if you're listening to this and you're in Chesterfield or you're out of state or wherever, cruise your normal route, take a video, talk on it and send it to us, and we'll put it on the show. I think it's a kind of a cool idea.
Hey, is there any place now to get a Tom and Jerry's up in Port Huron?
Yeah, Brass Rail.
Oh, it's
Brass
reopened.
Rail.
It's
Yeah.
It's
reopened.
Yep. So good news. So
Do you want us to go get one and send you a picture, Rob?
Oh, I want you to pack it in dry ice and send it to me.
yeah, right. So
Wouldn't that be cold instead of hot?
all right.
Listen, I went in there one night when I first moved back. Someone told me you got to go in there Christmas time, so I go in there. I said I'm gonna have a Tom and Jerry's, and I watched the process. The guy put like 8 raw eggs in for 1 drink, and then like sugar, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not having that.
Yeah.
So you got a Stroh's on
Bourbon.
draft.
I got a bourbon.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, hey, just kind of give you a heads up. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have Andy Shield on the show, but he ended up having COVID and he lost his voice and he apologizes. But next week, Wednesday at 4:00, we got a huge, I think it's a huge guest. We have the former Ohio State quarterback, number 15, Greg Fry, coming on the show to talk a little bit about the college playoff. And I have some shows lined up with just some people's names: Scott Evans, Scott Walendowski, Ian Smith, a musician, Tim Carlson, Mr. Carlson. He has agreed to come on the show to talk about his time at Marine City. God, who else?
Corey May.
Todd May.
Todd May.
Todd May.
To talk about the sweet tooth and and how that all came to fruition. So we got some cool guests coming into some future shows. So folks, remember, if you like the show, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up or thumbs down. We're cool either way. We'll have this downloaded on not only onto YouTube but on Facebook, and check us out next Wednesday. We will have that downloaded again with former Ohio State quarterback Greg Fry talking about the college playoff.
I'd like to add a show in the next couple months too.
Sure.
I'd like to have Timmy come back on, and I want to have that deep discussion of why you weren't in his wedding.
No, that is not going to happen.
We got to get to the bottom of it.
We tried that one night.
Fred, you're clearly not letting it go.
I haven't even seen, you're the one that keeps fucking bringing it up.
No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
I
could care less. It was 1,000,000 years ago.
We could get to the root cause.
Yeah.
Do a little analysis and see if we can't repeat.
You know what? First of all, I refuse. I won't be on the show if that happens. B, I am not going to embarrass Tim or have him explain why, because at this point it's a moot point. I don't care. I don't. I tease it. I tease
what he's saying.
I tease Timmy
I don't
about
believe
it. I tease Timmy on occasion about it once in a while, but
occasion.
it's no, occasionally, not occasion, Rob. Okay, so yeah, not gonna happen.
He does it occasionally.
Well, how would you know? Are you with me 24/7? Fucking stalker.
There's something to it, but hey, Fred doesn't want to talk about it. Tim doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't want him making excuses or anything like that. That's fine. It's not like I wasn't at the wedding. Okay, I wasn't in the wedding. Okay, so
was that a more of a bitter pill to swallow?
Back then it was. Now I'm all right. It's fine. Really, I just like tease him with it, just like I tease him about him saying that he's 6 foot tall. So that's what I think is kind of funny.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Mike, you know what I like? The fact is Fred admitted to us. He said at one time, he said, I didn't have him in my wedding because he didn't put me in his.
No. He was in my wedding.
He was in Fred's
wedding. He was?
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He wasn't my
best man. Not your best.
Yeah, but he was in the wedding. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna play.
Well,
that is fine.
So when you and Kendra tie the knot, will he be your best man for this one?
So on that note, you guys have a great night. Peace.